Year 7, today we're starting a new topic. Naming angles is where we're going to start with it. So what I really want to do is give us a foundation to then build on top of that. I hope you already know some stuff like obtuse, acute, straight angles. You know that information. We want to now assume that and move forward. So we're going to tell you how to actually label an angle. So this diagram becomes really important. You need to know the terms. So it's like we're defining it, we're giving you the foundation. But firstly, to explain what an angle is, it's the amount of turn you might do. All right? Have a think about it. Skateboarding. All right? What's it mean to do a 180? Yeah.
You go 180 degrees to turn around.
Yeah, basically, you're going one direction, you do a 180, you turn back to go the other. What would a 360 be then? Yeah, keep going.
Start facing one way, and then you go around a hole, and then the same way.
Yeah, so you're going one way, and a 360 is to turn all the way around to going back to facing that way again. Excellent work. It's the amount of turn you are doing. And what we do is we use angles to show that. But this is going to be new, I expect. In the past, you've probably labelled angles as just like angle G, which is always the vertex. But we need to learn to label it with 3 letters. And you start out at one arm, the middle letter is the vertex, and you go back out to the other arm. The other thing you may not be used to is this little symbol here. Looks like a pushed over L. We use that for angles, to label angles. Okay, it's like that's the way that every mathematician looks at it and they go, oh, now I'm dealing with angles. All right, so this is an angle, and this angle is PGH. Start at P, come to the vertex at G, go back out the arm to H. That's how we label it. So I want you to know that. But there's more I want you to know as well. There's another definition I'm going to give you today. And hopefully that's going to work. Let me try and get it working. Let's try that. Adjacent angles. So you need to copy this down as well. And adjacent angles are next to each other. It's like they're beside each other. They have to be. They have to have what we call a common arm on the angle. So that's in the middle. So these two angles are adjacent to each other. They're next to each other. That's what adjacent means. And if I was going to label the two adjacent angles here, it would be angle AMP, sounds like a financial fund, and PMN. Now it doesn't actually matter what order I do it in, as long as you can see that M is in the middle. But those two are adjacent angles. They're next to each other. Okay, hopefully you've got that down now, because I want to give you some examples. So let's look at these examples. Firstly, we need to name the angle, and I want you to name the angle that has the dot in it. Does anyone want to have a go at what the name of that angle would be?
Acute.
It isn't. That's the size of the angle. It's an acute angle, but this is where we're moving on. What do you think it would be? Those two are adjacent. You're right. But what's the name of this angle here with the dot?
Obtuse.
Yeah, you're trying to do it without it. But the name of that angle is angle PQS. Okay, notice the Q is in the middle. That's at my vertex. The P is out here. P to Q to S.
What's that little L mean? Like the angle?
Yep, can someone tell us? Because I said it before.
It's like a measurement used for angles. It's like an
I take
indicator
no
what's the angle.
It's the symbol, isn't it? When the mathematician sees that little pushed over L, they know that means angle.
So where does it look like an L when they just took it an L?
Draw it carefully. But normally it's around questions that have got angles in them, so you sort of recognise it. All right, the second question is, name the angle adjacent to angle DCE. So, this is angle DCE down here. D to the vertex at C, back out the arm to E. So what angle is adjacent to it? What's next to it? Yeah?
B,
Yep.
C, E, D.
D. Do D, because you want this angle in here, which is adjacent. So, when it says name the angle adjacent to DCE, the answer is angle BCD. Question for you, Year 7. What if I just called it angle C? What would be the problem if I called it angle C?
Sir,
Yeah,
sir,
don't worry, yeah.
because it's adjacent, they're both next to each other, so you won't know which one it is.
Excellent.
DCE or
Yep.
BCD.
Yep, because I've got two angles next to each other, if I just call it angle C, I don't know which one you're talking about. So I have to be more precise. If you just have it like this, let's say it's A, B, C, that's the case where you can just call it angle B. Okay, that's lots of explanation, isn't it? It's lots of information. We need to get our details right. So to do that, we're going to reinforce it with practice, practice, practice. Let's get in and do it.